Morning everybody, this is Joel with Island Farm Life, and today we are going to make a couple of raised beds. When we moved into the trailer, while we're building the house, we kind of made some compromises of things that we were not going to do while we were here. And one of those things that Colleen lost out on was being able to do a whole bunch of gardening. At our old house, we had a fairly extensive garden where we raised enough for us and my folks and quite a bit of food. We even had times where we were taking produce to neighbors and things like that. So what we kind of lost when we moved here is all of the gardening space. The problem with watching a whole bunch of YouTube videos on homesteading and farming and everything else is that it really makes Colleen get the itch to get out here and work in the garden, and it's something that she's really missed. So she's not home today, so I've got one of my sons here, Justin. He's going to volunteer to help me out. I've drafted him, and we're going to put together a couple of temporary raised beds up here, something so that she can do some gardening throughout the season. We can grow some vegetables, and then at the end of the season, when we move into a more permanent location, we'll be able to tear this down, rake out the dirt, remove the dirt, use that and move that onto a new location. But it does give her some place to work, and I get fresh carrots and peas and beans and things like that. So let me show you what we're going to go ahead and do. And what I'm going to use is these cedar fence boards. The reason we are using them is because they were on sale at Home Depot. Usually these fence boards cost about $2.75, $3 a piece. These were on sale for $1.78, which is why they were the winner to be used. What we're going to do is we're going to basically use these as sides of our raised beds. They're about 6 inches wide. What I'm going to do is, since the dirt is going to be pushing against this side here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the rebar post in the back here. That'll give them some support to push against. We're going to go ahead and build these 2 boards high. They're 6 feet long, so we're going to end up with a bed that's a foot tall and 12 feet long. Then, as I said, we're going to fill this up with dirt. It's going to be filled up with dirt all the way up on this side. We're going to pound these in nice and tight into the ground to give it some good resistance. We're going to put 2 pieces of rebar for each 6-foot length. And then we should have some nice beds for her to plant in. Probably build them about 3 feet wide. Put a 3-foot path in there, and then we're going to go ahead and put another bed in there so that we have 2 beds, 3 feet wide, 12 feet long, and a foot deep. And then I'm just going to pretty much just leave this dirt underneath. There are some brambles and weeds and things underneath there. Again, the operative term that we're looking at here is this is temporary. This only has to go through this planting season, raise some garden herbs, some basic vegetables for us to eat for our own personal meals. We're not looking to make this a permanent, really well-tended bed, so we're not horribly concerned about anything that may grow through the foot of garden soil that we're going to put in here. I'm going to go ahead and get all the supplies in. We're going to back the truck up here. We've got some dirt to work on, and we're going to go ahead and get this moving. So as you can see, we didn't quite fill up that tub, or that raised bed that we were trying to fill. When we were at the topsoil place, we told them we wanted a yard, and that's what they gave us. I was just kind of guessing how much dirt we would need. I suppose had I used some basic math, we probably could have figured that out. a cubic yard of dirt is, of course, 27 cubic feet. If we look at our bed, remember I said it was 12 feet long, 3 feet wide, and a foot deep. That'd be 36 cubic feet. So clearly 27 is not going to fill that. We're going to go on back, and we're going to get 2 more yards of this, which what they call three-way soil. It is 1/3 compost, 1/3 topsoil, and 1/3 sand. It's really good for gardening. It's what my wife really likes to work with and what works well here. And so we'll pick up another couple yards of dirt. We'll be back, we'll finish up this bed, and we'll start working on the second one. Alright, so just I've gotten all the dirt out. We got just about 3 yards of this three-way soil put down here. Filled up both of the beds. Colleen has come home. She's very happy with her beds. She's very impressed by all the work that we got done. We managed to get it all done pretty much in the time that we had allotted to work on it today. So next, it'll be her job to start filling it up with seeds. As you can see, the beds are not perfectly straight. The edges are not perfectly straight. There's a little bit of wibble and a wobble in there. The fabric between the 2 beds, you need to get some bark and kind of cover that up so that it has a good walking space, so that when she's walking around it, it is all taken care of and she doesn't trip on things. So that'll be our next load that we get in the truck. Other than that, I'm very happy with how this turned out for a nice temporary bed. It'll get her through gardening season, it'll get us some vegetables, and then in the fall, we'll just take out the sides, rake out the dirt, and those nutrients that are in the topsoil that we're using for the garden will just be dispersed about here, and in our area where we've got trees planted, our future orchard, it'll use those nutrients and help us grow in the future. So thank you for your time. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And other than that, thank you for watching.